Hi.
I love Tiger King. You can talk about it all day. Oh, and my little Tiger King is here too. There's Dennis. Dennis, you're on TV. You're on Instagram Live. No, not. Okay.
Yeah,
No.
Tiger King's taking over my life, but what can you do?
I'm just so sad it's over.
I know. I want more.
I'm like, that's it? Oh.
We need more Tiger King. Okay, well, enough about Tiger King. We're here with Miss Carolyn Nolan. Carolyn, could you just tell our followers, for everybody that's checking in on our live today, about what exactly that you do?
I'm Carolyn Nolan. I live in Winchester, Mass. I'm the owner and lead advisor of the Nolan Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial. And we're located in Winchester. So we help our clients with investments, insurance, cash flow. We basically just simplify the finances of busy people. That's what we do. We're kind of like therapists. We're kind of like personal trainers with money.
Okay, cool. That's honestly an easy way to put it. So when the coronavirus pandemic started happening, how were you navigating your business and your mindset through that time when it first was like, okay, this is a big deal, this is real?
Yeah, so our business all the time, like our whole mantra is about preparedness. So we're not in the prediction business. Some advisors, that is their value proposition. Ours is about that with our advice that you will be more proactively prepared for literally anything that may happen. So we focus a lot, and not a lot, like our whole focus is just on what can we control all the time. And the truth is the only thing in our entire lives we can control is our behavior. And everything else is out of your control. So we maniacally focus on what's in your control. So when we see that, okay, this thing's a real thing, and hopefully, frankly, it isn't. And that was like our mindset 3 weeks ago. We decided what's in our control is let's shut down the office. Let's choose to go to web-based meetings. Some clients were actually frustrated because they had made their plans to come in our office, and our office is like a really cool environment, like Vega.
How do you spell watching?
Anyone like to help Dennis? W-A-T-C-H. This is working at home with kids. I know you're gonna get there too. It's not fun. W-A-T-C-H-I-N-G. Spell check. So we went to web-based meetings. Our entire team overnight, we decided let's send everyone second monitors. We already have a voice over internet phone system, so people can physically move their phone anywhere in the world that has Wi-Fi, and it looks like you're calling from the office, or people can call you. Not like you're trying to trick people, but we already have a remote office, not to prepare for pandemics, but just because we believe in that may be a good solution all the time. So that's a long answer, but truly we're very, like, we literally hit every detail in our personal, professional, with our clients, with our team, of how can we be prepared for anything. So we felt pretty ready.
Yeah, and obviously we can see you're a working mom. A lot of moms and parents out there have been saying, give the teachers a raise. Can you just tell us how you're going through that too, just working, keeping the business alive, and then also being with your kids?
Yeah, so on our team, we more than ever right now are saying everyone take one day at a time. So our #BossBabe team, there's 10 of us, and everyone's home with children right now. So we pretty much are saying, like, if you email any of us at any point and someone just has to check out, we just have an out of office and someone that's on backup. So big thing is communication within the team. With our kids and with each other, we're just saying, again, just focus on what's in your control. So you can only control how you speak to your kids, what you put in front of them. You can't make them eat. So we're just trying to literally coach ourselves through, like, all you can do is what you can do. And so a big thing, and my girl Ashley will tell you, I always have a smile on my face. And sometimes I'm smiling my way through really hard times because all I can control is putting that smile on my face and convincing myself, like, you're going to be fine. It's always fine. And with kids, we're trying to just have fun. do silly like dance parties, act absolutely ridiculous. We're having like tons of family dinners. We're cooking way more. So we are genuinely trying to just like focus on what is good. That can be your book, sure.
Is this Unchartered territory, since we haven't had a pandemic like this? Is this uncharted territory for you to help your small businesses or your clients? Like, is this something that's totally that you have to do your research and try to figure out how you're going to help these people? Or
honestly, so a pandemic and what's going to happen next, or how can you refer to history and what we can anticipate will happen, this is totally uncharted. But especially when you don't know what's going to happen, the answer always is you should diversify. You should diversify your investments. You should diversify your income stream if you can help it. You should diversify, everything in your life that you can, instead of putting all your eggs in one basket in any sense of the word. Even like, I take this to other extremes. Like I think about, I don't know if I'm going to have a good day or my husband's going to have a good day or a bad day. So we're trying to divide and conquer and not put anything on one person's plate in any sense of the word. But frankly, when it comes to financial planning, our advice is no different than it was when the markets were high. I just think that people now understand when we use terms like risk and uncertainty and like shit may hit the fan, and quote me on that. When shit hits the fan, what's your plan? And that's like literally what we prepare for all the time. It's about being prepared, not reacting, not predicting. That's gambling, not just with investing, but like with preparing your whole life and what you're doing with your personal financial plan.
So just talking about individuals, not small businesses, a lot of people have been saying this too. A lot of the websites are now doing crazy sales because they know everyone's at home. They want to purchase, but do you have any advice? It might just be common sense too, but just through this time right now where people are experiencing layoffs, they're experiencing cutting of their hours, what should you do as an individual to be ultimately prepared to come out?
That's an awesome question. And it's just know your numbers. This is no different than on your best day, but on your best day, it's like, that would be good, but I don't really feel like it's important. Now it's urgent and it's important. Know what you spend, know where it goes. We have tools that we individually create and tailor for each client that actually came from something I was doing for myself as life got kind of nuts. And I was like, where the hell does it all go? And I don't care about what I spend at. This is working from home with kids.
Everyone.
Being, B-E-I-N-G. So not about like if you need to know the details, if things get really tight, like that's helpful, but on a high level, I believe all the time it's an amazing habit, similar to food journaling but way less painful, is just knowing where it goes. Like when my pants are feeling kind of tight, I like almost immediately have to go to like, so how many calories of wine did I consume last week? And I'm like, oh, okay. So again, let me get back to my first statement. What can you control? The only thing is your behavior. I'm like, oh, let me cut that. And right now, pandemic, I'm like, we're going to add that back in. But no, the practical, what should you do all the time when it's good, bad, or indifferent? An awesome, awesome habit that whether you make a ton of money or a little money, whether you have a regular paycheck or an infrequent paycheck, every single person benefits from knowing where the heck it all goes and having a streamlined system that, no joking, takes maybe 5 minutes a month once you have a good template for yourself. Simple, not rocket science. Your choices if you do it or not.
Keep Xing out of the websites. I keep just getting my parts out of my face. It's getting too much over here. But I need to know where it's going. So
know where it goes without even deciding, am I going to analyze it and do something different with it? The first step is just knowing your reality, because what I found with most of our clients, like we did a massive like calls the last couple of weeks. And the truth is there were few clients that we had to make changes because we had a proactive plan. We're not reacting to not just with the stock market, but with their cash flow. These are all things that we're very preachy about all the time. Because if you then have to institute these habits, it's tough to be objective when you're in a very emotional state. So this is where what we talk about all day, every day is no different. It just makes way more sense when pandemic, boom, hits you like a 2x4. And oh shoot, these things I've been procrastinating that behaviorally I could have chosen to do, I now like, I got to do it. So just focus on what you can do right now, because that's all you can do all the time.
All you can all do. Yep. That's all we can do, people. And for small businesses like Vega, Ashley had to, unfortunately, we already had to start layoffs. And that was gut wrenching to her for people who put their heart and soul into their business like Ashley does and like the Vega team does. And we all are coming together at this time. Any advice just for small businesses that have to take those measures just to get through this crisis?
So it starts with knowing your number. And I think that frankly, the more clear you are on your number, the more clear the decisions you have to make. And you can just have an honest communication with your team and with those. Because I think that what's worse is when there's tough things, is when there's tough actions, but there's no communication or empathy, because most people understand, but if you don't state the obvious and say it in a kind way. So I think the big thing with business owners is like, just be human and just be real and be as proactive as you can and try to think outside the box as much as you can too. So with some team members, it may be more temporary, or frankly, ask the team if they can help to collaborate. So I found in the last, my team's now 10, we were only 5 as of 6 months ago. I would have been so screwed in light of everything that's happening right now if I hadn't added the team members before I even needed them per se. And frankly, we're coming up with way cooler ideas because of those. I'm asking everyone, I expect of you to, not I expect of you like you're required, but I'm like, I want to hear your ideas. Yeah. Like, I don't come up with the best ideas. I'm just great at making it happen and not just thinking about it. I do it. So I think right now there's some really tough decisions that we have to make. So be empathetic, be proactive, try to think outside the box and ask your team for other input. And some folks may not even be able to be on payroll right now, but their participation in keeping things together. I've seen some clients go on furlough for their small business companies because they had to, but they're still actually doing some work because they know it will make a job for them when they come back. And don't quote me legally about any of this stuff. It's more of just think outside the box. Like, this is where I genuinely believe we come up with our most creative, awesome ideas when we're in like a corner. And it's like, too bad we don't just do it when it's good. So I empathize and feel terrible for a lot of these folks that it's just the nature of their business. So again, all we can control is trying to continue to support our small businesses and not just tell them we're thinking about them, but literally buying gift cards and setting up our future appointments and offering ideas. Ashley will tell you, I think of random stuff at like 2 a.m. and I'll text her like, have you thought about? And I'm not being critical. I'm genuinely just like, oh, this would be cool. Not just when it's pandemic season.
Yeah. All seasons.
All seasons. Everyone offer your ideas. As long as you're coming from the good place, even if it's a crappy idea, whatever, as long as it's from a good place.
Yeah. For those of you checking in, checking out, we're here with Carolyn Nolan, a private wealth advisor. She's been giving amazing information for the Nolan Group. Carolyn, this is my favorite part of the interview. Just 3 things that we could do, 3 takeaways that you want people to leave this live with and take to their couch and work with, and just with little like 3.
Mom, how do you spell cousins?
Seriously.
Ooh, we're going through all the words today.
COUSINS.
Wait.
Oh God. It's happy hour, right? Yeah. I think so. COUSINS. So 1 is know what's important. And this sounds like, I understand this sounds fluffy. This is actually what it all comes back to. Number 1, know what's important to you. What makes you tick. Unapologetically say, this is important to me. Whether it's important to me to be able to have a job that I have the flexibility to work from home. I need guaranteed income. I need weekends off. Like, know literally with everything in your entire life what's important to you. Once you understand what's important to you, start putting a plan together. Get a coach, get a mentor, get an advisor, get a therapist, get a friend, get just someone who actually cares and can give you some objective feedback and actually create a plan. And if you're not confident or competent to do it yourself, and even if you are, it's insanely beneficial to get someone outside of yourself, because just the act of sharing your thoughts out loud make them more real and more likely to happen.
Right.
And then have a plan. And lastly, very simply, like, stop thinking about it. Just do it. Stop thinking about, I'm going to call my friend I haven't talked to in like 7 years this weekend. Why don't you call him right now?
I know. Quarantine has made me do that. I am like a number one person at being like, oh, well, I'll just call them at the end of the week, or I have this idea, but it's not the right time to do it right now. I've been like on it now. So I don't.
Now's always the time. If it's important, now's the time. If it's not important, throw it in the never gonna do list. Don't just delete, recycle, Marie Kondo your whole life. I've absolutely love everything about that. Not just that book or the method, but be psyched about what you're saving for. Be psyched about the stuff you're spending, but know what the heck it is. Just be aware. Kind of food journal your whole life. And
Carolyn,
don't take me literally, but you know what I'm saying. And have fun. Smile.
What is furlough?
So if you're technically not receiving income. So if you're furloughed, you're going to be let go of your job and not receiving an income.
Okay, that is furlough for everyone that wanted to know that.
I don't have a, this is, hold on. Let me give you a Google. This is an I know enough to be dangerous.
You never know what could happen. Now we're breaking out the Google for you guys.
We're breaking out Google. Who doesn't? I do it every meeting.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. Now we know how to spell cousin. We know how to spell, what else did we spell today? A leave of absence, especially that granted to a member of the armed service. So you're taking a leave of absence. You're not receiving a paycheck. You see it in like the federal government. Sometimes they need to make budget cuts for temporary purposes, but it can happen anywhere. So I guess the main thing is think about where you can, if you work in a small business, like work for someone, or you're the owner, think outside the box, because you may not be taking a paycheck either, but your employees don't know that. I just think that cultures in small business, that the more open book you can be with the right employees, you're just going to create an amazing something, and that's like everyone's part of it. So the more you make people part of it, like the better.
Love that. Well, anything else? Any other awesome? I mean, you've given such amazing free tips right now, so that was great. Any other tips for just individuals, small business owners? I think we're all so uncertain, so we're all trying to get through it at this time. But for just people checking in again, this is Carolyn Nolan, advisor. She's been giving tips for small business owners and just regular humans just trying to navigate through this time.
I mean, again, when you think about what can you control, so even right now with your money stuff, like some folks, they know their investments are in the right stuff, and they recognize, oh my gosh, when I look at my account statement online and I see it down by whatever percent, it literally makes me sick to my stomach and I can't sleep. Don't look at it. And I'm not kidding. Like if you know it's where it's supposed to be and invested the way it should be, and there's no changes you should make, and you know the act of looking at it will make you sick, stop. Yeah. You can control that. And frankly, the more that we put ourselves in an emotional state, especially at this current emotional state, we're more likely to make bad choices objectively of what we should do with the investments. And let me be clear, the same is true on the other side. Because it wasn't even 6 months ago that there are some conversations we're having with folks that they're like, why did I only make X percent and the S&P did this? And it's like, well, because it starts with diversification and risk profile and your appetite for risk. So the same is true when we're on the greed, and no one likes hearing they're greedy, but when you're having that like euphoric, like it's never going to go down. So frankly, if you know objectively you're in the right stuff, just live your life. Seriously.
I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much, Carolyn, for joining on this live of checking in. Guys, we're doing this all week. We have so many awesome people lined up for you. If you missed Carolyn, we're going to post her takeaways because they were super valuable. They'll be posted on Vega Vitality's Instagram. And Carolyn, we truly appreciate you joining us today. Okay.
Thanks for having me. Dennis thanks you too. He's going to keep writing.
Say bye.
Bye. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Stay home. Do your cash flow journaling.
Yes.
Bye.